The band is all back together.
Oh, they're back.
I feel like I say that a lot lately, but it's the Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage. Great to have everyone back
Great
together.
to see you guys.
Even though last week was an incredible episode. If you did not, if you missed that, it was with Matt and I sat down with Headman's basketball coach Richie McKay.
Some people said it might have been the best podcast we've ever done.
Exactly.
Just stop it.
Just
stop.
That's what.
Why did you have to go over the arena, by the way? I heard you. I watched the podcast.
Because all the commencement stuff here, we got kicked out of our
Oh,
studio,
you got kicked out. I thought Richie was being
bourgeois. He was being high maintenance like that.
Right.
You got to come to me.
Sorry, I don't have time for you to come over to the podcast.
No.
I go back to
But it did look good over there.
It did look good.
Yeah, it ended up looking nice. So,
It was a good podcast. It was a good podcast.
I think it was the best first 3 minutes of the Flames.
It was
And
funny.
the fact that Matt
is so
Warner
funny.
was willing to address the elephant in the room. The fact that Matt Warner said, "I'm addressing the elephant in the room," and Richie was
Is this a rug?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You said that Joe wears a rug.
Joe wears a rug.
Joe does not wear a rug.
Gosh.
Just for the record, Joe does not wear a rug.
I told Matt after, and this is no offense to you, but I'm like, I'm kind of happy that Joe wasn't here for that.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually not.
It could have,
It could have gone sideways. Then it gets
too far.
Then I get laughing, and everybody else feels really awkward.
Yeah.
You know, it could have been one of those.
It was for the best.
It was for the best.
But excited about who basketball is bringing in and all of how that team is shaking out for next season. But there's plenty of action going on right now on Liberty's campus. Lady Flame Lacrosse won their first ever ASUN Conference Championship. So congratulations to the Lady Flames. Tavo Reinertson, she took home the program record this season in goals. So we had her on the podcast earlier this season, and when you mention that, you risk the broadcaster's curse. So I'm grateful that she still was
overcame
our broadcaster's curse with that. So they made their first NCAA tournament appearance, playing number 8 John Hopkins. It was tied 6-6 in the second, but then the Lady Flames
kind of got away late. They were in it. They were in down 2-3 goals for most of the part, and then kind of got away 21-11. Johns Hopkins ends up winning that. But yeah, they were definitely a good showing.
Yeah, and great to just get over that hump for that program and get that first ever NCAA tournament appearance and experience just for the teams to come. So congratulations to them.
Joe's a big lacrosse guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of upsets in lacrosse on the men's side, especially. UNC got beat, Duke got beat. Those were like two of the. There's somebody else got beat. So there was in lacrosse national tournament. There's a lot of. I usually go to the national tournament.
Is that right?
The Final Four. I've been like 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah, Philadelphia, Connecticut.
How did Reese's team do?
Oh, Reese went to the wedding, and the team had a little bit of a hard time, but they played a lot. Blue Ridge, who is our arch rival, so it forced across. Blue Ridge goes to DC Glass. We had beaten them all season long, and then we lost to them 6-4 in the last game. They needed a little bit more Reese Young, but the kids fought hard. It was a good
Joe's daughter got married this past weekend in Montana, so congratulations to her. Do we want to wait for a story time for that later in the show?
Do you have any good stories from out there you want to share?
Stories.
All right, we'll save it.
We'll save Joe's story time for a little bit later. We get of course, I'm emotional a little bit later in our interview with Paige Doerr. I know that's shocking. I get a little choked up. You know what is ridiculous? I think I've hit an all-time low. I got emotional and started crying during the drone show.
During the what?
The drone show of graduation. Yes.
You went?
I didn't go, but I watched the 12-minute video, which if you haven't watched it.
It looked cool, the pictures I saw.
No, you got to watch the whole.
I haven't seen the drone show.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it was light out. How do you have a drone show?
No, it wasn't. It was dark. It was a perfect evening for it. But I'm telling you right now, the audio and like what the drones did to that audio, and like Dr. Falwell's voice was on it about like you're standing on this stage, but you're going to go out and spread the word. It was, and then he's like saying I don't know.
I gotta watch a drone show.
Oh my gosh.
Have you seen the drone show?
Guys, I was even Jason choked up. Well, like
that's not. I expect Jason to choke up before you do.
And the drones, which one did fall? You saw like Yeah, because they did like the world, because Dr. Falwell's audio is like talking about going out around the world, but you're standing here today, and then you just see one that like fell off the world. But I'm telling you right now, Google it if you haven't seen it. It is.
Okay.
Some people are saying that this was a better performance. That like I guess some people like went to the Super Bowl and there was a drone show maybe that this one was better and like more like one of the best graduations that they've ever been to.
I heard it was better than the Chinese Olympics opening ceremony.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And they're big on drones over there. They love their drones over in China.
Yeah, they actually made them maybe.
And weather balloons.
Yes.
Okay, let's change the subject. We do have Paige Doerr, who some are saying was a CUSA tournament
softball
hero. Softball hero.
We talked about the word heroes used a lot.
It has. What a run for them, though. You know, we've talked about it. We talked about it. You know, can they get back? I was thinking about it. You know, the bracket came out. You know, they're facing the #1 overall seed is in their region, Texas A&M. So they're in that region, and we've heard some. You know, I've heard some people be like, "Oh, why did we get stuck with the #1 seed?" In fact,
we addressed that in the interview.
In fact, one of our mailbag questions, just not to skip to the front of the line here,
let's do it.
Came from Bob Staub, friend of the show.
Oh yeah,
and he was saying that too, like, oh, I've heard a lot of grumbling about, you know, like, oh, the region that we're in. Here's the deal: we sat here a year ago when Liberty came up one out short of moving to the Super Regionals.
Yeah.
And what did we say?
Yeah.
Sooner or later, you just got to kick the door down.
Right.
It does not matter.
No pun intended.
Right.
The door.
Paige Doerr.
D-O-E-R-R.
It doesn't matter. #1 overall seed, #2 seed, #3 seed. Does not matter. If you're going to do it on the biggest stage against the best team. This is it. This is what they've been building for the last year. This is what they've been building for the last year. Yeah. What a stage, what an opportunity to go down to College Station and shock the world. And then, who knows?
Hey.
Who knows?
Kick the Paige Doerr down.
Kick the Paige Doerr down.
Kick the Paige Doerr down.
Yeah.
Going into the tournament, basically Liberty just took over the CUSA Awards. Dot Richardson, Coach of the Year, Elena Escobar, Pitcher of the Year, and then Savannah Watley, Newcomer of the Year. Yeah.
Rube was Player of the Year.
Yeah,
Rachel Rube, Player of the Year. She's also a friend of the show.
Tell me where the party's at.
So just a successful, you know, another historic season for the Lady Flames. I don't know. I am a little nervous. I don't love having the #1 seed. But
here's the thing.
What day is this time?
Friday we start. Now, first up is Marist, right? You say
you can't
overlook Marist.
Just...
They're 47-7-1. They've won 17 straight games heading into this tournament.
Ooh.
So they're playing really good. 47-7-1 is their record out of the Metro Atlantic Conference. They've won 17 straight. So they're thinking the same thing Liberty is. Like, all right, let's go in there and we're playing well. Let's shock some people. So they are playing very good. If Liberty can get by them, then they would most likely play.
Where is Marist? Is that Ohio or something like that?
It's back east somewhere, isn't it?
Boy.
Like
just quick research. Keep going, Emily.
Quick research on that. We also have later in the show
New York.
We have later in the show, man, baseball is really playing with fire.
Down to the wire.
We'll get you updated on that. A few updates from Liberty Golf, of course, Joe's story time. Yeah. But let's open the door with Paige Doerr to talk more about Liberty softball success. Ladies and gentlemen, we have your hero of the CUSA tournament. Yeah. The Lady Flames are CUSA champions. It's back to back to back. I know it's only back to back for CUSA but you guys won the A-Sign before that. So back to back to back. All we do is win, 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 no matter what. I have another song that we're going to sing a little bit later. But this, ladies and gentlemen, Paige Doerr hit the walk-off in Game 3, which was the elimination game.
Paige.
Is that what they were chanting after you hit the walk-off? Did they pick you up on their shoulders or anything? Was there anything like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Yeah? Okay.
No.
They threw over on a chair like it was a bar mitzvah. And they were just
dancing.
There's going to be a lot of singing
unbelievable.
in this interview. But let's talk about, I'm always interested to know, like, the inside, like, behind the scenes and what's going on in the dugout. So what was the mood and feel like going into the 10th inning and the game's on the line? You guys just, had the bases loaded in what, the 9th?
I think it was the 8th maybe, or the 9th. Yeah, you'd had a chance, didn't quite come through. Was it like well, yeah, what's the feeling?
What's the mindset
Honestly,
in the dugout?
the feeling the whole time, like even at the bottom of the 7th when it was still tied, every single inning from the bottom of the 7th, we came in and literally said, finish it. So we knew we were going to win. It was just a matter of when. So, yeah.
Oh
so that was the battle cry, finish it.
Yeah.
So you have to say
About
finish
4
it.
times, I think.
Yeah.
3 times.
Yeah.
Wait, so how many times did you get up to bat? 2 times in the extras?
The whole game?
No. And so like
I think extras
with the
was
game
twice.
like kind of I think it was twice.
Yeah.
So tell me about your at bat. Well, it wasn't very long because you went after the first pitch, but did you go into the box thinking like, okay, Paige Doerr, let me just finish it?
Well, I was just like, let's just do a better job than last time, last at bat, because I was in the same position. But yeah, just trying to see the yellow ball. That was really it.
Yeah, see the yellow ball. Base is loaded, right? That situation. And like, are you thinking like, all right, they can't put me anywhere? Like, I'm gonna see something to hit in this situation.
Yeah, I also think that it was easy because we only had 1 out. So like literally anywhere I put the ball, there was gonna be some players had to put it in play.
Yeah.
So it was just see something close.
It was awesome because as soon as you saw it drop and right, you were just like, I saw you point.
Well, the second baseman jumped. I said, oh no, and then it went past. I was like, yes.
Oh my gosh. So it's such an exciting game. I was on the edge of my seat. Matt, don't want to call him out. He didn't believe. He didn't have the faith.
No faith.
Listen,
No faith in the
after
Lady
some
Flames.
missed I believe they could win, but after some of those missed opportunities leading up to that, it's kind of one of those things where you go like, well, that was it. That was it.
There was your chance.
If that didn't go our way, maybe it's just not meant to be. But you know what? Thank goodness.
That's so negative.
It is. No, it is. No, that's fair.
That is
That's
the
fair.
opposite of Dot Richardson, right?
Thank goodness
She would
Dot was in
never-
that dugout
she would
instead of
never
me,
say-
because I'd have been like, well, girls, it's over.
That's
You blew it.
Well, there goes your chance.
There goes that chance.
We're gonna go, losers.
Yeah.
That is
not
so
typically-
unlike Matt. That's usually me.
Not
And that's
Dot.
as I coach my kids and stuff, that's where usually I turn and I tell the kids like, I'm not taking the blame for this. This was all you.
This one's on you.
Yeah. So that's how Dot and I are
gosh.
different in that
Yeah,
way. Yeah.
a little bit.
What is Dot saying and doing? Because I know you girls are coming together and saying to finish it, but what is her message to you guys? Or does she just kind of let you guys handle it in those moments?
Oh, I don't even remember during that game. I know she always steps in like when we really, really need it. But normally she's pretty like, unless she has really big advice, she kind of lets us go on that aspect. But we were so into it that I don't even remember if she gave us a pep talk. Like
It's just a
we
blur.
were so into it, and there was never lack of energy. Like we truly knew we were gonna win. It was truly just a matter of when it was gonna actually happen.
Yeah.
So.
Talk to me about Elena Escobar. Gets the start in that game. She goes 10 innings, 163 pitches, then turns around in the championship game, comes out again. What is it like playing behind someone like that who you feel like, man, there's no way she's going to let us down?
It's pretty easy.
Yeah?
You just sit there and cheer her on pretty much, and then be ready to have her back. That's it. And for her to go that long the night before and have not even enough recovery at all, and then to show up and throw the way she did was like absolutely resilient. So.
Yeah, you guys went 10 innings in Game 3 in that elimination game against La Tech. Then you're like, you know what? We're not going to waste much time.
No.
We don't even
drama
need
here.
7 innings in the championship. Was it strange though to only play the 2 teams, Jack State and La Tech? And what gave you the confidence to come out there and just stick it to Jack State in the championship?
Well, we had a little bit of a chip on our shoulder, but yeah. So I mean, we had a job to do and we had more to prove, and so our job wasn't done. So like showing up was kind of just, we knew, and like truly like we looked at them. This is bad, but like we looked at them when we ran out for the anthem, like all of our shoulders were high and they did look a little scared, and we were like, okay, like now it's time to really roll.
Yeah.
So.
Gotta have that confidence going in. Are you allowed to pick your walk-up song for the regional? Okay,
I don't actually know for regionals, but conference tournament, we all get our walk-up songs.
Okay.
But I don't know if regionals we do.
Do you know what hers is?
I can be your hero, baby.
Whoa,
That is,
whoa.
I can kiss away the pain.
Enrique Iglesias.
Enrique.
Enrique Iglesias.
Why are we singing that?
I can be your hero, baby. Is that what she said?
Yes, I have the lyrics right here.
That's your walk-up song?
That is not my
will
walk-up
stand by you.
It's not a walk-up song.
She was the hero to get to the championship game. She's changing it because I'm suggesting
Oh,
it.
you're saying she should
Gosh,
change
oh my
it.
gosh, does everyone have blonde hair?
What is your walk-up song?
It's called The Buzz.
The Buzz.
Okay. That's also by Enrique Iglesias?
No, actually, no, I don't even know who it's by.
Okay.
Yep.
Joe,
How
you
does it
searching that?
go?
No, I don't even know. It's just a beat, I think.
It's just a beat. There's
Okay.
no okay.
It's
Why
just
did
a
you
beat.
settle on that one?
You know who Travis Bazzana is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so long story short, my stepdad is the pitching
Is
coach.
this it?
Yeah, but not this part.
Oh,
The
you gotta use the
chorus.
right part. All right. Joe, we're not.
You gotta skip it to the middle.
Joe, we're
Oh
not.
my
Oh, sorry.
gosh.
You're back to telling a story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Travis Song, yeah.
So my stepdad is the pitching coach at Oregon State.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Travis Bazzana obviously went 101.
Right.
Who doesn't want to hit like Travis Bazzana?
Yeah.
So it was my walk-up song last year, and that's my walk-up song this year. So
I mean, that's a good
Love
reason.
it.
Yeah.
I
That's a
love
good
it.
reason.
Tell us about your journey to Liberty, how the Lady Flames recruited you and how you came from all the way cross country from Oregon State.
well, you know Bryn McManus.
Mhm.
So her and I were club ball teammates.
Okay.
And so when I went into the portal, she worked her magic a little. And I mean, I emailed Dot. So then she reached out to me afterwards. And then but I didn't answer for a long time. Like we had an initial call, but I didn't answer for a long time just because I didn't know how the recruiting process and especially the portal worked. And like going from Oregon to Virginia was like, ooh, maybe let's wait a second to make that decision. But then Bryn had a pretty deep conversation with me, and then I decided to come on a visit.
You're playing hard to get.
Yeah,
Like you
exactly,
just say.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did
you're
that
like,
with my
yeah,
husband.
yeah. Oh, you really want me, Dot?
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I get it.
Were you
Yeah.
homesick at first or has it been pretty smooth?
Honestly, no. I mean, it was hard because I was a walk-on last year at Oregon State.
Oh, okay.
So like I even lived at home because my whole family is in Corvallis. And so like me and my older sister, who also was on the team last year, we both just lived at home. And so it was kind of like the freshman year vibes, but my sophomore year, if that makes sense. And so that was hard, but also the people here like made it super easy. So it wasn't like the end of the world.
Yeah. So you guys end up winning the CUSA championship. What makes this team so special when you guys knew you were CUSA champions and going out there to celebrate? What was that moment like for you?
It was just all of our fight and all of our grind just like being rewarded, I think. So like it was so special to know that we all deserved that on the field, and we all just felt like we knew it was gonna happen. We knew what it was gonna take to happen. We put in the work, and so like for it to all just come together at that moment was pretty special.
Okay. Hold on a
Okay.
second.
Oh, boy.
Hold on a
Get
second.
serious,
Because now it's time. Now
This
it's
is going to
time
be
to
like a 3-minute question.
now it's time to get serious. Now it's time to get serious
Okay.
because we had Dot on the show, right? He was on the Flame Central podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage.
Huge friend of the show.
Huge friend of the show. And we talked to Dot about, this is before the season started, and we talked to Dot about like, hey, you play this tough schedule early on, you're playing all these ranked teams early on. What do you got to do, Dot, to go to that, past that regional into super regional to get to the College World Series and like all those little things, it's right there. So we're celebrating the Conference USA Championship. There's no doubt about that. Enjoy it. But you know what? It's time to move this bus on.
Exactly.
I mean, it's time to move this bus on. What's it going to take for the Lady Flames to get over the hump and get this team to where they want to go? What's got to happen right now? What's the mindset going
mindset
in
right
to this national tournament?
Is we have nothing to lose and we have no fear.
No fear.
That's the mindset is big, is no fear, because do people expect us to win? Absolutely not. But do we? I mean, yeah, we still have that chip on our shoulder, and I think we have a lot to prove still. And like it's Texas A&M, it's just another team. They just have a different uniform on, so we got to show up the same exact way we've showed up, played every team this year all season.
First, I want to say before you get to Texas A&M, you play Marist. You went to high school at Marist High School, is that right?
Yeah, but it's a bit different.
I know it's different, but do you see this? What
That
are they?
is-
I mean, like,
that
here we go.
is
This
weird,
is meant
yeah.
to be.
Yeah.
You're meant to have a big
Yeah.
game, is what I'm saying. It's
Oh,
all
thanks.
pointing back to
Wait,
you.
so who's in this
It's gonna-
bracket?
all right, here's
Like,
what I got.
Let's talk
we'll do
bracket.
anything to tie it in.
We're tying it all
together.
together. We got
Like,
Texas A&M, the #1 national seed.
Number one national
Yeah.
seed?
Number one national
Take it
seed.
easy, Joe.
Wait.
Faceless opponent.
Time out.
What?
The #1 national seed. My question, and this
one.
can be a little like upfront,
Joe.
but
No
yeah.
faith. No faith.
What? Yeah, they're so negative. What was the reaction though when you're like in the same regional as a #1 seed? Did Dot have a message there?
I mean, she always got a message.
It's intimidating.
She's always
She's
got a
always
mess,
got a mess.
yeah.
It's intimidating though. Like, do you feel, because you guys were consistently top 25
Yeah.
all year. Is it fair, or is at this point you're gonna play someone really, really good no matter
Yeah.
what regional you go to?
I think it's definitely that mindset, but at the same time, it's like you have to beat the best to be the best.
That's
and
it.
so at the end of the day, like it comes down like we want to win the World Series. It's not just getting past supers or getting past regionals. And so like if we have to have that challenge first, then might as well. Like it's right there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Matt. You
know,
go
it's
ahead.
what my dad always told me.
Oh,
growing
God.
up. That's going to relate to this. He said, son, if you're going to get into a fight, knock the biggest guy out first.
Exactly.
Oh.
There you go.
Ooh, that is
good.
really
Good.
good.
Put it on a shirt.
See?
Yeah, put it on a
Put it
shirt.
on-
Yep.
That should be. You know what?
That
you know
actually is a
you know how
challenge.
they make those pregame trailers?
Yeah,
We
that was a
should-
lot better than I
That's good.
expected. I'll be honest, Joe.
Yeah.
When you started that, I was not expecting
This-
it to be.
I
that
didn't know where it was
good.
gonna
Yeah,
go.
right. That's
always good.
This
You know
is
what?
a sisterhood, and we're going to punch the biggest guy first.
Yeah.
Lady Flames, let's make history.
Yeah.
Yeah! Oh, we're going to the
You
gym.
just wrote the.
I
the
just
game
wrote
trailer.
the game trailer. Yeah.
You know, there's been a
Paige
lot.
is like, get me off this
Yes.
set now.
Paige, there's been a lot of talk around campus about me coming in and giving pregame speeches to the teams.
Yeah.
My
Joe's
record's
0 for
not
1.
great.
Not great.
No, I think I'm over 2.
Oh, I
Yeah, I
know.
think I'm over
He gave
2.
a pregame speech to the volleyball team before a
And
conference
they got
tournament
knocked out
game,
Got
before the
hammered.
tournament
and
even
they got
started.
waxed.
Yeah, whack.
We'll leave it to Dot.
Yeah. I think Dot's got it. Yeah.
We'll leave it to
Yeah,
Dot.
I think she's got it.
Dot's got it
Yeah.
under control.
Okay, so Matt, sorry, say who's
Sorry,
in
who's-
the
yeah,
in the
who's in
regional.
the-
Okay, so yeah, Marist is who Liberty starts with on Friday. You got the number 1 overall seed, Texas A&M, and St. Francis
St.
in that as well.
Did
Yeah.
we play them this year, or
I
is
don't
that
think so, no. I think
basketball?
I think last
no.
year.
No.
That's
am I
what
thinking
I heard.
of?
We played them last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. It wasn't here.
But
Yeah, very true.
as Joe mentioned, you play that tough schedule early on. How much now do you feel like having those experiences, having some big wins over teams that are in this field, that are in a regional, how much does that really pay off come this time of the year, having those experiences?
I think we know that we can do it. Like, we fell behind to big teams and we came back and won. And so I think knowing that, it gives us like faith and hope and the grind, and we know that we can do it even if we get down. So it's like we're not going to go down easy, and it's not going to be it's not going to be something fast. It's going to be like a slow burner. And we're going to come back.
No panic.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Yeah.
So are these tournaments nationally set up the same way that a conference tournament is a double elimination?
Yep.
Double elimination.
Double,
Yep.
double A, so the exact same
Yeah.
format
Yep.
as your conference tournament. Okay.
Yeah. Well, listen, Paige. They brought you in. They were one out away from a super last year, and they said, "What do we need?"
We need Paige
And
Doerr.
they looked across the country.
Yeah.
They looked out to Corvallis, and they said, "That's what we need to take the next step."
And you know what Paige said? I can be your
No, she
hero.
didn't. No,
Yes, she did.
No.
She did. I'm with you on this one.
Thank you.
I can't wash away your tears.
No, I don't even
No,
think that's
that
the
is
words.
literally-
These are the words.
You
That
printed
is
out the
not-
lyrics.
I printed out the lyrics.
I can wash away.
No.
I can kiss away the pain.
Yeah,
Kiss
that
away
has
the
nothing to do with song.
pain.
I will
That's what
stand
she
by
did.
you
Forever.
You
The
can't
remix.
take
Yes.
my breath away.
You did all that. You took away the
You
pain.
kissed
Yeah.
away the
You
pain.
kissed away the pain. You took
You
the
stood
people.
by
everybody's-
us
You took
forever.
everybody's breath away.
And you took my breath away.
Yeah.
Love it,
So if
Paige.
you want to change that, I'll make a call out to Aggie Land and make that your
That's
walk.
your
Can you
walk-up song.
imagine?
What if you were
can
walking
have
up to the
these-
plate
I'd be like, oh.
and you heard that song?
That'd be great.
And then I just pop from
No,
behind the fence.
no, it's not. No. We'll let Enrique handle it.
Oh my gosh. With a mic. Oh my gosh, that would be incredible.
This is very exciting.
And
I
a
know.
spotlight. Mike and a spotlight.
Let's that would see perfect. Let's make history.
Mhm.
You know, the Lady Flames have never made it past regionals, like
Yeah.
you said. So this is the year.
If you're gonna get in a fight, knock the biggest guy out first. Go Flames.
Go Flames.
Did
Go Flames.
you guys
Go, go.
last year? Did you make a regional?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for Oregon State?
Yeah.
No.
So this will be your first regional
Yeah.
experience. Yeah, I know Liberty did.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, but this will be your first. What are you looking forward to most, and what do people that have been there tell you about how maybe it's different, or how it's different from a normal, conference tournament or regular season game?
I think just approach it the same way. Like, it's just a yellow ball trying to hit with a round bat, so they're just in a different uniform. So it's the same game that we're playing. It's just, you just have to approach it that way, I think. That's just what everybody's saying. And I agree with it. I mean, why make it bigger than it is? That just makes it harder. So
Yeah.
She's
We're big on singing and
She's
we're big on
locked in.
reenactments here on the Flame Center podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage. Give me your best Coach Dot pregame speech going into game 1.
Do you have a Dot
regional?
impersonation? Does she have like catchphrases that you hear a lot?
But the catchphrase has changed.
Oh.
That's what's big. So
That's
like,
catchy.
yeah, they do change. And she always, my favorite one that she did is she was like, the flames are burning, and you know what flames do? I think it's incarcerate. Is that the word? Or it's
Don't ask me. I don't know any words.
Incinerate. They don't go to
They don't want to be
jail.
incarcerated. Yeah. No, they don't.
Flames don't go to jail. We try to stay out of
We're in
jail.
the same
Exactly.
page.
Not good for the program.
Yeah.
Yeah, in
yeah.
jail.
So we try and incinerate everybody. That was my
Incinerate.
favorite.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
I love it.
Oh man, she's special. One more thing I want to ask you about was when all the players from the different teams were baptized. What was that?
Yeah.
Were you there for that?
Yeah, I actually was baptized.
Oh, you were?
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh,
was baptized when I was a baby, but I had a conversation with Dot and Bob, and I was like, I just feel like it's different. Like, I understand that, like, being baptized when you're little is a little bit of protection and more of your parents, but, like, I want to do it for, like, my faith. And so they were all for it. And so, yeah, I was Dot's first baptism. So, yeah.
Is that right?
Really?
Yeah, that's what she told me the other day.
Wow.
That is so
That,
amazing.
what was the feeling like in that place? Because we saw seeing the videos and it
Yeah.
went viral, like everywhere. I was seeing this video.
Yeah.
What was it like in that hotel swimming pool, right? What was that like just in there?
It was really special. I mean, it was crazy because it just started with I don't know which team, but some girl just asked Dot in the elevator just if she could
Really?
baptize. Yeah, so Dot was in the elevator late one night, and the girl like missed her floor is what Dot said. And so she missed her floor and was like, hey, coach, like, can you baptize me and my friends? And of course, Dot said yes, whatever. So then Coach Dot
crying.
opened it
so
up
cool.
to our team the next day on the bus. And so me and Bryn and Alyssa were like automatically like, okay, let's do it. And so we joined in, yeah.
I'm
and
a mess.
And then it got, somehow the rest of the conference figured it out. And so at the coaches meeting before the tournament, the couple, I don't know if coaches, I think coaches came up to Dot and like, hey, like, our girls are really interested in this baptism. Like, is this happening? And so, you know, Coach Dot's like, yeah, like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
let's go. And so we were all sitting. We, like, showed up in the pool, and it was just a couple of us at first, like us and I think maybe Jack Stakes in the same hotel. And then all of a sudden, you just see, like, charter buses pull in. And, like, charter buses. So then one charter bus comes. I'm like, oh, man. So then it just fills the pool area. And then another charter bus comes, and it fills. And then I don't even know how many people were there. It was incredible. I mean, we had family there. We had, like, our coaches were there. Other coaches were there. We had, I don't know, there was a pastor from, like, a local church that showed up for the, I mean, it was pretty special. And so,
Wow.
yeah, I think 26 girls were baptized. And it only started with, I think, 6. I mean,
it
it
started with
technically,
a small conversation and an elevator.
it started with one girl and an elevator, and 26 girls were baptized.
That's just so cool seeing. And the first time I'm just seeing this video without understanding the full story, and I'm like, was that girl wearing a Sam Houston shirt?
Yeah.
And it's like, and then you start learning the story of like, these
Yeah.
are all these different competitors coming together for this moment. Like, that's just so unique and so cool.
And it wasn't like 26 at one time. It was like there, I don't know, like the big group, like the people that knew that we were going to do it got baptized. And then we closed in prayer, and then we said a prayer, and then the Holy Spirit just convicted the rest of the 26. And we were probably there for 2 hours, and it was like probably a couple at a time that would go. And then after they would baptize, we went back into prayer, like as a big group. And then, you know, people would come to the entrance of the pool, and I'd run and go get towels. Like, it was so cool.
Wow.
That is
It was so
awesome.
cool.
That is so awesome.
Makes me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Thank
a
you,
lifelong
Jesus. That-
story right
Oh, yeah.
there.
And
we'll,
that,
we'll definitely have to follow back up with
Yeah.
doing
Well, yeah.
the story on that with Flame Central.
and you know what? Like, obviously, all the winning conference championship and walk-off hit and all that is awesome. But like, that's what Liberty
Yeah,
and
it
Liberty
just
Athletics
means
is
more.
supposed to be,
It means
right?
more.
Like, that's
Yeah.
what it is. We love the wins. We love all of that. But this is like
Yeah.
the difference-making stuff in people's lives that we're supposed to be about. And obviously, we know Dot is very much about.
Yeah.
And what makes it all so special and means so much.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
It was
Wow.
really special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea that whole backstory. That's awesome. Well,
That's got story written all over it for Flame Central.
I mean,
Yeah.
listen.
We'll have to do
I'm
a
sure there's
Flame
good
Central
video of
feature.
it that people.
Oh yeah,
There
they
is.
did. Yeah,
oh
it's
yeah,
incredible.
I mean, it's all. I know Sports Spectrum picked it up, and
Yeah,
it's
it was.
all
I saw
over.
articles all over the place about
Yeah.
it. So that was really, really cool to that.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you guys all got to
Yeah, it was
experience
really
that.
cool.
And thank
Good
you,
way to
Jesus.
start the
Yeah,
weekend.
Yeah,
great
you're
way.
right.
And then
Yeah.
and then coming home with the conference championship sounds like a perfect weekend.
When do you leave, Paige?
We don't know.
We don't know.
You don't know.
We don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, bad weather in Lynchburg, so you know you guys are gonna have to get out of here.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about all those logistics. Lock in.
Yeah, exactly.
Paige is
Worry
locked in.
about yellow ball, round bat. That's all you need to worry about.
Exactly.
That's
Let's
it.
go. I love it. Well, thanks so much for your time. Best of
Thank you.
luck.
Good luck.
Bring home. Do you get a trophy for winning regional? I would assume so.
You know
So
what?
let's bring
It's not
it
about
home.
the trophy.
It's not about the trophy.
It's go change more lives out
that
at
too.
regionals.
Do that too.
Do that,
Yeah.
and then
Hey,
see the beautiful trophy here.
Hold on, Joe's
Hey,
got to say.
since you are such a superstar,
Oh, thanks.
we need to really hit with a good sponsorship from you, right?
Okay.
This is, look into that camera.
You're going to
right
look,
there.
just
That
what Joe
thing.
does. He's going to have you look
Look
into
at
this
that
camera.
right
You're looking
there.
into the heart of
And you're
America.
gonna say, look, heart of America, and just like you're at bat for that final one to bring home
You
the
want me to
bacon.
hit the cup?
You can hit the cup. Just don't break it. I know you're strong.
no, I
Don't
do.
break it. You're gonna say,
You're watching on the other side. You're watching the Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage.
yeah, do it. Yeah,
I'm
do it.
Paige Doerr, and you're watching.
Yes,
the Flame
perfect. Do it.
I am Conference USA hero. Paige Doerr.
No.
And
Okay.
Emily, I extend it over each shoulder while you're doing it and saying, "You can be our hero."
Oh, should we do that?
Yeah, we're doing it. You'll be our hero.
You come up from the back, actually.
No, go. Just go. Go. You got it,
Okay,
Paige. Knock it
what
out.
do I say? I'm Paige Doerr,
Go.
and this is Flame Central Podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage.
Yeah.
I can be your hero, baby. Thanks so much for your time, Paige. Best of luck, the regionals. Just another interview that I'm getting emotional. And you know what can get me emotional again is them getting out of a regional, going to a super regional. So I really hope. But
Yep.
I mean, the last part of that conversation, just about 26 lives changed.
Oh, so cool.
I mean, that's what it's all about. That's
cool.
just, and it was just so cool to see the insight of how that all transpired. But
When you have heard, and I know you guys have heard this as well, when we do these stories with like alumni and stuff, and you hear the stories about athletes in the early days, right? This was the kind of stuff, these are the kind of stories that you heard.
Yeah, from like the men's soccer coach.
Bill Bell. Do you know Bill
Bell.
at all?
That is
Yeah.
a
Like
Bill
Bill Bell would
story.
tell stories about how like the opposing team's bus broke down,
Yeah.
and so they had to wait around, and he goes in and leads the whole team to Christ while they're
Right.
waiting for their bus to get fixed. Like stories like that are just like, you're like, they blow your mind. Like, or guys after games going up against the guy they were just battling with on the football field and leading them to Christ right there on the field.
cool.
Like those are the stories that we hear that it's harder as you get bigger and you go to higher levels of sport. Obviously, not that those things get lost. You never want them to get lost. But it's bigger stage. You start focusing more on the wins and losses and those type of things. But the story like we just heard from Paige and what just happened at the conference tournament, like that's at the heart of what Liberty Athletics has always been about. Stuff like that. And so it's so cool to see what Dot Richardson is doing with this program and with these players. And in this conference, where she's not just there to beat you and try to win a conference title, it's a lot bigger than that. And she changed who knows how many lives, and who knows what the future will be like for those girls and the people that they impact, moving forward. Yeah, forever. Absolutely.
And I think that can say, there's a lot to say and how these girls play on the field because of that freedom of like, hey, I know I'm not defined by this game. And I think, when they did see that #1 national seed of Texas A&M, I mean, what better coach to have than Dot Richardson? Like, hey, we're not defined by who our opponent is, who we are. Like, we're defined.
Last thing on that, like, I know, Joe, thinking about like when I played and stuff, there was never a head coach of another team for me that I knew well enough, respected enough to go up and ask anything of, much less to go say, hey, I want to be baptized. Will you, the head coach of another program, do that for me?
Pretty
like
cool.
that speaks to the kind of impact Dot is making and the type of reach that she has within the sport.
Really, really cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch gears to baseball.
Yep.
The good news is
The good news. Give us the
Give
good
us
news.
the good
first.
news is the Flames took 2 of 3 at FIU.
Yes.
That's good.
I
news.
mean, the Flames had to do that because Middle Tennessee ended up sweeping Sam Houston.
Yeah.
So before Matt, hits the panic button.
No, we're not paying.
No, we're not panicking. The standings
you.
are, as of right now, I'm just going straight down to the bottom. Liberty's in the 8th seed. The top 8 teams make it to the CUSA tournament. Liberty's currently in the 8th seed with 9 wins. Middle Tennessee has 8 wins. Sam Houston has 6. There's 1 series left to play.
Yeah.
The Liberty Flames will host the #1 seed, Dallas Baptist.
Oh, it looks like we got another big dog.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get in a fight, not the biggest guy out
That's
first.
it.
Looks like we got softball and baseball.
Yeah.
Which, the Flames, obviously they haven't played Dallas Baptist this year, but the Flames, face the top competition in the ACC.
They
They'd
seem to
play up
to the better competition. So here's what we need, right?
Oh, what
so
do we
Liberty
need?
right now,
I literally wrote on my script I produced today.
The one
what
game
needs
lead
to happen in this final series?
One game lead over Middle Tennessee, and Liberty has the tiebreaker because they swept that series against them earlier this year. So basically, I guess you call it what the magic number is 2, right? Like a Liberty win, Middle Tennessee loss, it's over. That's it. Liberty gets swept, Middle Tennessee wins two. We got a problem.
Yeah.
So
Middle Tennessee hosts.
They're playing Kennesaw State.
Oh, I thought they played FIU.
No, that's Sam Houston, who is 6 wins,
Kennesaw State's third.
Completely out of it. Yeah. So yes, just win. Just get a win. You go out there Thursday. The series starts Thursday. You win that one. You feel like we're doing pretty good. Like I just don't see Kennesaw State, at least not the version that we saw earlier this year, getting.
When does the baseball tournament start?
Next week. Next Wednesday is when the conference tournament starts right here in Lynchburg. So
they were hosting.
Liberty's hosting. So you got to get in. You got to get in.
You got to play in your.
Hopefully they can get a win. They did get a couple of wins this weekend. That's the good. The bad news, Dylan Matheson, starting pitcher, left with an injury. That doesn't sound great. I know they're getting more information on that this week. That's a huge loss. He'd been one of the better starting pitchers in the conference. So that hurts. But just get in the tournament. Get in the tournament. Anything can happen.
Play up to Dallas Baptist.
Anything can happen.
Are you on the call for this?
On the call for all 3 of those.
So that's good news. More good news.
Right. On the call tomorrow, Tuesday, potentially for Duke. That one's still on as of now. Weather looks awful, so we'll see.
That one's getting washed.
Yeah. So yes, Duke, on the call for that. And then on a call for a bunch of the conference tournament games with all the other Alan York and Nick Pierce and a bunch of us. Emily Austin's going to be there. She'll grace us with her presence.
I committed to baseball, people.
So
6 months pregnant, I committed
to
baseball.
Just know whenever Emily's slated to be on, just count on rain. Because that's pretty typical for every baseball game that she works.
Rain, snow, wind, all the elements when Emily Austin is working. Yeah, it's not fun. Speaking of great starting pitchers, Ben Blair, we did a feature on him, calling him the hometown ace. You need to check that out. Some really good stuff on his story and why he ended up staying here to play for Liberty.
One other thing, not to get off topic, I don't know if we mentioned, have we talked about Quentin Cooley signing?
Yes, I was going to mention that.
I got an update on that.
Give me an update on that.
Yeah, I talked to my people who know this. Quentin Cooley signed with Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the CFL, and my brother Jim just happens to be the director of player personnel for Winnipeg, and was instrumental with getting Cooley signed them. And I talked to Jim yesterday, and I said, Jimmy. He answered the phone. I said, Jimmy, and without saying anything, he said, Cooley's tearing it up.
Is he really?
Yes.
Let's go.
He said he's doing really well,
Good.
And he said he's done exceptionally well in pass protecting.
Okay.
And so those are good things, because the issue in Winnipeg is the CFL Player of the Year is their starting running back.
Oh wow.
Right. So then there's going to be a battle for that second and third spot that Cooley's in. So he thinks that a big part of it obviously is going to come down to like how well he plays in the preseason games. They have 2 preseason games coming up here, and so but he said he's hungry. And he's doing fantastic.
Good. That's good. Awesome. Let's get here. So does that make you kind of like the assistant to the director of player personnel?
Yeah, I more consider myself
a consultant.
Yeah, consultant to the director of player personnel.
Yeah, I figured that.
He clipped off all of his calls and everything to send to Winnipeg. Cool. Maybe a couple podcasts.
Yeah.
The bowling ball. I'm sure that nickname will transfer.
Yeah, you can tell Jimmy to make
across
sure
the country line. Yeah. Just some golf updates. Liberty hosting the regional.
That starts now.
Yeah. Is it ready?
They started yesterday because they are trying to get as much in before the weather.
Oh, they did start.
Yeah, they moved it up a day just to try to get some holes in.
There's some good teams in this region. You don't happen to have the list, but it's like Oklahoma. Was Oklahoma State one of them? There's some.
While Matt looks that
I know
up because
there's some
Emily
really
did
good-
not. You know, Liberty didn't make it. It was
They
their
didn't make
first
it,
time.
but it's a good regional.
Yeah.
Like there's some good golf.
I heard the
going
course
on.
looks pretty good too.
Of course, it's incredible.
Did I tell you that Jason hit an albatross? I'm kidding. I still hear about it every night. Like he still thinks, like in our dinner prayer, he still thanks the Lord for hitting that albatross. But the plaque to put on number 10 at Bensboro still hasn't.
You got Tennessee,
made
you got
its way.
Oklahoma, you got
Yeah.
Arkansas, Vanderbilt,
Yes, Tennessee,
Wake
Oklahoma,
Forest,
Arizona.
LSU, Arizona.
I mean, that's a regional.
That's a regional.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, Liberty didn't make the regional, but Ike Joy did as an individual. He was named actually to the CUSA first team. He had a great
we gotta
season.
follow that.
Josh Ryan was named to second team, and then Michael, how do you say his last name?
Lugiano.
Oh, you know what else happened? Go ahead, sorry.
Is all freshman team. So congratulations to them for those CUSA honor awards, and
You know what else?
good luck to Ike Joy.
What's that?
You know what else is the Fox Post Invitational, which is one of the biggest amateur events.
Yeah.
It's held at Boonesboro in the state. Luke Libby, freshman from Liberty University, won it.
Oh, okay.
Did he really?
He won it. Yeah.
Wow.
Freshman Luke Libby won the Fox Post. That's a big. That's a big,
huge deal.
That's
I
a big
didn't
deal.
realize
Like
that
you
he was
get
on
you
one
get
of those
amateurs from all over the country that come into play in that tournament, been played for years, and to win that is a big deal. So congratulations to Luke Libby.
Yeah, we went out there and actually watched a few
Yeah, I did too.
of the senior division.
Okay, well.
I think that's it, except Joe's story time.
I got real quick.
More mailbag.
Mailbag. Actually, one just came in while we've
It's
been
a
sitting
hot
here.
mailbag.
It's a hot mailbag.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to be a part of the show, flamecentral@liberty.edu. If we like your questions so much, you might get one of these amazing mugs that I created.
All right, the one we just had come in literally 1 minute ago while we're sitting here. Doug Powers. He always says not your. He always says not your Doug. He wants to know, do you think with Rich Rodriguez going from Jacksonville State to West Virginia, do you feel like we maybe could get a game with him at some point just because of that connection, him having played against Liberty the last couple of years in Conference USA?
Oh,
maybe down the line.
That's
I don't know.
That's a Mickey Garitti question. Doesn't Mickey do all those scheduling for
so,
things?
yeah.
But all those, we do know this, that the schedule is made years.
Right.
Especially your out-of-conference stuff is made years in advance, but that'd be fun. A little fun factor, I don't know if I ever shared this before, but my first game coaching at Liberty was against Glenville State, right? And the head coach of Glenville State, Rich Rod.
Rich Rod?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's wild.
How about that?
Ended up going, remember when
Full
Liberty played, they played at Virginia probably 8 years ago,
West
maybe?
Virginia,
Yeah, and I went to that game.
Yeah.
I was harassed on the sideline the entire time by a bunch of drunk hillbillies. But we were in that game. They were very much in that game. In fact,
were in that game.
There was I don't want to put it on the guy, but Des Rice, I think, put one on the turf early on that kind of. And we missed a bunch of field goals. So it's wasn't on.
Not much has changed.
But hey, okay, couple more mailbags.
mailbags.
I didn't really get to
More
Bob
mailbags.
Staub's real question.
Go, Bob.
His question was,
I love
and you
that
mentioned
name,
it,
Bob Staub.
Elena Escobar pitched the semifinal game, 10 innings, came back, pitched the championship game in the Conference USA tournament. His question is, should we be concerned that the staff maybe, by not throwing anyone else, is showing them we don't trust you as much? Is there any concern there with Yoder, Bachman, because you're probably going to need them in the regionals at some point? Any concern with this basically being like, we don't trust you in this situation, we're going with Escobar?
Yoder, Bachman, Escobar sounds like a law firm.
It does. My personal take is, you know what? Feelings out the window this time of year. You know what I mean? Like,
I would
you
say,
can't worry about it.
I would say, who was it? Was it Jim Mora that said, or no, it was
Playoffs?
No, it was
He was
Herm
that guy.
Edwards.
Oh.
It was, you play to win the game.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
And you know what's so unique that you think it's so different than baseball because you can throw so much more
'Cause
as
it's
a
a
pitcher in
natural throwing
softball.
motion.
Right. I don't think those girls' feelings are going to be hurt, and I don't think that that's like really. I think they want to win.
And I also think this. I also think this is important to realize is that if you're Dot, and I guarantee you, so Dot's saying to them, like, dude, when you get in these tournaments, whatever season, crazy things happen.
Sure.
You never know at the drop out. It's like, dude, we trust you. We believe in you. We're going to go with what we think gives us the best opportunity to win the game.
Yeah.
But you better be ready because your number could get called like that. and sitting around in your feelings or whatever it may be, and I'm sure none of those girls are doing that. They want to get, but you got to be chomping at the bit for your opportunity to compete.
Yeah. Another thing you have to keep in mind is not only like the hot hand, it's, you know, matchups do play a factor in softball just like they do in baseball. So whatever your pitch is, and I honestly can't say that I know Escobar, Yoder, and Bachman's like specialty pitches, but you don't know how that's going to match up with these teams that they're playing. And I'm sure that these coaches are going to be well versed in like who these teams face, what girls had success, and what pitches, and like, you know, match up the best pitcher.
Corporate laws are special.
Yeah. Last question. This comes from our buddy Matt. He wants to know, and this you're gonna like this, if prime North Carolina wide receiver Joe, if that guy in your prime,
did you ever
in your prime? It was a brief window. No.
It's really
if you had transferred to this Liberty football team, so we're taking that Joe.
Wow.
Put him on this team.
Oh my gosh!
What would you have been able to bring to this team in terms of performance on the field? Well, he went also locker room presence, leadership, blah blah, potential opera singing.
I mean, clearly
he said opera
singing
as well. Like, what would you have been able to add? How would you have fit into this Jamie Chadwell offense?
Not the pregame speech.
How would I fit in this Jamie?
We know you're a devastating downfield blocker.
So, number one, devastating downfield blocker because they're leading the nation in rushing. Yeah. But I'll tell you this right now, not to toot my own horn or anything.
You hate doing it.
I hate tooting my own horn or anything, but I would absolutely have dominated in this offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have loved, they would have loved Jamie Chadwell would have loved me. Willie Corn would have so much drawn up for this kid.
God.
Yeah.
I would have absolutely loved that. And then would they say, because then it'd be like downfield crushing block, and then a little slip. Whoop, touchdown.
Yeah.
Ball game.
Oh my gosh.
But it would have been a man of the people.
Right.
Would have been jumping in the crowd. Would have been Jerry's Jokers, all those
NIL
guys.
opportunities would have been ridiculous.
The NIL opportunity would have been unbelievable. And then in the locker room, let me tell you something. You can ask the folks in North Carolina. Joe Yock's a locker room guy. Yeah. He's beloved in the locker room. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my cheeks hurt.
I just want to say that's the best question we've ever had on the Flame Central podcast.
Of course it is. Not only would Willie Corn draw up plays for Joe Yock, but Joe Yock went to draw up a mortgage for you today. So let's stop talking about the past. Joe Yock, those days are long gone.
Yeah.
His specialty right now is getting you the best mortgage.
Well, let's keep talking about the
past.
Go to
it's been a couple of weeks.
I got it. Alcova.com/Liberty. You can save up to $5,000 on your closing costs. It's almost too easy. 1% up to $5,000. We did a few more. While I was in Montana, we closed one. So we're knocking these things out like pancakes at the IHOP Sunday after church. It's almost
on
too
Mother's
easy.
Day.
On Mother's Day. And that's a lot of pancakes. Alcova.com/Liberty.
Pancakes sound good right now. Well, happy Mother's Day to all the amazing moms out there. Hope you guys had a great day. Sorry it took so long to say that in this show. For Joe and Matt, do you have a quick wedding story?
Montana.
Real quick.
I'll give you 2 minutes. Under 2 minutes. I'll tell the cake story.
Okay.
So we go to deliver the cake. This is what Gracie and Drew, her now husband, did all the wedding planning and everything. It was a fantastic wedding. I mean, Gracie was beautiful.
You looked radiant.
I looked radiant. I had the suede on. I had the suede jacket on. It carried a lot of swagger, right?
Yeah.
But Gracie looked absolutely fantastic. And Drew was fantastic. It was just beautiful. The mountains in the background, a little small. There's like 40 people there, 40, 45 people, and great reception afterwards. But anyways, we had to take the cake. Dina and I were in charge of getting the cake to the these people's house.
Can you imagine putting Joe Yock in charge?
No, you put Dina Yock. Dina Yock's in charge.
Dina was in charge.
Dina was in charge of that.
I would never ask Joe Yock to transfer my wedding cake.
Yeah, no. You asked Dina Yock.
Yeah.
Dina Yock. So anyways, we meet the cake girl there, and we're like in the middle of nowhere. We're in Montana, in the middle of nowhere. It's like just what you picture. And we go to these people's house, and it's like there's all these like construction going on. I'm like, that's a new construction. We're at the wrong house. I'm telling you, there's no way it's. So we drive down. We go to these other people. There's like people and family playing and that's not them. So we go back. And then we finally get old. Gracie's with her friends, right? She's like with her bridesmaids. They're trying to have fun. She's like, I don't want to deal with having to worry about the cake.
You're in charge of the cake.
Yeah, but we're like, you got to call Gracie, and she's like, well, I don't want to call Gracie. Well, we got to call Gracie. So we call Gracie. Gracie's like, you're at the right spot. I think you're at the right spot. Not 100% certain. And so anyways, the door will be open. Door's locked. Next thing you know, I'm going around the house, and they were doing a new construction on a deck, so just the boards were down, right? And so I'm tiptoeing across the boards, risking my life across the boards, and I come to a sliding glass door, get the sliding glass door, it's open. Go through the front, open the front door. They come in with the cake, and Gracie said, well, they'll cleaned out the fridge for you, so it'll be a good place. We open the fridge up. It's chock full of stuff. There's casseroles in there, mustard, ketchup, the whole 9 yards, right? I'm like, well, maybe they meant a fridge down the basement. Well, I get down the basement, flip the light on, looking around. There's no fridge. And then it hits me. We're not at the right house. There's no way this is the right house.
You're just rummaging through somebody's
house. Now you're
house.
starting to rummage. Now you're getting a little bit of beated sweat coming on.
You're in the middle of nowhere in Montana.
You're in the middle of nowhere in Montana. And let me
Yeah.
tell you something in Montana, what they like. They're not afraid of guns in Montana.
I've heard that.
So you're waiting for like the Ring camera and stuff. Like the neighbor comes through with a 12 gauge, and we're in a good old fashioned Western shootout. And so long story short, it was they'd gone to Glacier for the day. They forgot about it, and we cleared the fridge out, found a place for the cake, put everything back in. So it all worked out.
It all worked out.
But it was an
I bet there were some tense moments.
Yes. Yeah. But what a beautiful, couldn't be happier for Gracie and Drew and their wedding. And they're in Mexico right now on their honeymoon, and they're a lovely couple. And Drew's a great man, and so happy for what a blessing he's going to be to our family and everything else. So it was an awesome trip.
Awesome.
Whole crew was there.
Good to have you back. I'm sure you'll miss next week, but we'll figure it out.
Just stop.
Next week, hopefully, we're talking about the CUSA tournament in baseball and Liberty softball making history, going to a super regional. So be sure to check back in with us next Monday. For Joe and Matt, I'm Emily. We'll see you then.